Hi everyone, this is Drippy. So today I'm gonna quickly break down two of my trades. Last week, CCXI and also Tesla. Now, like if you want to go check out my daily recap, like I post daily, you can search with my handle and then type daily recap. And then, so this was CCXI trade. We made overall for 25 calls 500%, and then intraday we made 30 calls, 35 calls, 150, 100%, and then holding 40 calls, $40 call for October 15th, and then $90 calls for January. And the other one was Tesla on October 7th, and this was 350% trade, and I think it was a matter of like minutes since we like booked profits. So this one is more TA plus flow based, and this is more catalyst plus flow based. So let's look at Tesla trade first. So on the October 7th around 10 o'clock, 10:30, I was watching the flow on the unusual whales, and I alerted to the followers that there's like repeat bullish flow today, and price was not going anywhere around that time. It was still like in a very small range. It was consolidating and squeezing in that range. And then look at the flow here. So like all bullish flow, and this was around 10:37, 10:40, and you can see here some of these are for October 8th. So that was really interesting to me because that was just one day before the expiry, and I was like, well, there are so many lottos being bought, then why is the price not moving? This flow is so bullish, and some of them are big orders here, $1 million, and then 621K. I mean, this was weird in the money call, but then again, just looking, there were some out of money calls, 785 calls, and this was the like repeat buyer here. So I was very, very curious, like what's going on. So look at the chart here. So around I was watching Tesla here, and then around 10, I think, around this time, 10:45 or something, we entered Tesla. I think around this area we entered, right? This was our support. And then you can look here on the 5-minute chart. Every time when I'm on a smaller time frame, I draw like supply and demand zones on a smaller time frame as well as the higher time frames, because that gives me an exit area. So our risk was really low here, like 1 or 2 points, really tight stop. And you can look here, it was kind of in a squeeze here. So I mean, it could have gone down as well, so in the hindsight, I think a better trade would be to wait for the break of 790. But the problem is that it just moves so fast that if you waited for 790, then you might have missed like half of the move. But you could have put like OCO order, advanced orders. I don't do all that, so I was already in the trade, and my stop was tight anyway, so I was fine, comfortable holding the position. The only problem was the time decay, and I was getting a little bit worried about that, but it was still early in the day, and I wasn't really worried much about it because I didn't have a huge position on it. So, but the good thing is that if it moved in my favor, I could take profits really, really fast, and that's what happened here. So since these flows, they tell a story, and look at where the price went to $800, and some of these calls, I mean previous day as well, last couple of days, they were like 800 calls, repeated call buying. So all those people were holding the calls, and I think, like it kind of touched that target and the calls were sold. But this move, like we entered around this area, and the best part is that like I was like live tweeting that take out profits. So we scaled out at the perfect exit area, and then we entered at the perfect entry as well. I mean, it could have been perfect here, but I cannot complain because we made 350%. I mean, if you look at the total time in which we made the money was break, like let's say break of this area, right? So this is in 50 minutes, so less than an hour, 350%. But we were holding the trade for a while, so I think we were holding for 4 hours, I would say. So we definitely premium was a little bit decayed, but it's all good. Made 350% on this trade, and this is the power of flow, and that's how I like to play like these big caps, especially in this choppy market. And the setup was really good as well. It was squeezing for a while, and the volume was really low. So I knew that even if like volume surge a little bit, I can make big bangs on it. My profit targets were like 795 and 800, and I alerted that on the Twitter as well. So it was fun. Actually, the energy was wild. A lot of people made bank on this. So let's move on to CCXI, which was yesterday, and man, this was an epic trade. Just like so many things were in my mind before, like for a while I was holding these calls. So let's give you a history behind this a little bit. So this was I alerted this September 21st, and I've been holding calls since then, and I'll explain why. But if you look here, I told that whales are going crazy over this 300k worth 15 October, $25 call. I mean, the current price at that time was $16. So that's a big move, right? They were expecting a lot, and premium was really bullish, and it was bullish last couple of days. And the catalyst I was watching was the FDA approval news, and I shared this this post. So you can go back and look at this post here. You can just search Drippy do hard CCXI. I mean, yeah. But the main thing I was gonna share here is that look at the sorry, I think I'm way too zoomed in. So yeah, now it's better. So if you look here, these calls, they were really bullish. 300k order, and then 195k order, and they were around the same time. So this was a spread, and so this October 7th was like a while, it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks back. September 21st was 2-3 weeks back. So in my mind, I was like, well, I need to track this, because if these whales what are they looking for? Because if you look at the chart here, there are two things that might happen. So September 21st was around this area. This is where I got my calls. So first, let me tell you how much it moved since then. 168%. So even if you got shares, this would have been amazing. Like, you didn't need to get options, because options are risky, but you could have had a tight stop on shares and gotten in, and you could have made bank on this. Some of the folks did in the group. Look at the volume the other day. But yeah, so I had in my mind, there were two things going on. First was that it's a pump and dump before the FDA approval. So if you look here, it went to $20. So I had some contracts. I took some profit around this area when I saw that this broke this support area at 19.5. I sold some contracts, but then I added back on this dip. I kept buying the dip. I didn't have a big position on this because it's a hit and miss, hit or miss. So I didn't want to risk a lot of money. So I think I didn't really, this was a risky trade, and I'm glad it worked out in my favor. But it could have gone the other way as well. So but the reason why I didn't sell my calls were two reasons. First, if you look at the news here for CCXI a couple days back, I think there was a news that the it was approved in Japan. Some one of yeah, like September 27th, right? One of their yeah, I mean you can read the news, but the same treatment was approved in Japan. So that was first good news. And then the second one was, this is like, my conviction is still there in this trade. And then so look at the individual whales here. So a couple things here, like I've added CCXI in the search here. The time is from 20th of September to October 8th. And then premium range I've set to 50,000 to just cut out the noise. And then DTE is like which expiry, so this is like 30 days expiry, so like contracts expiring within 30 days, just to kind of avoid leaps in this whole picture. And then also I logged the strike to $25 because I was monitoring that trade. I mean, I like every day I would remove 25 as well to see like if there are any other big trades, and there were, so I was bullish, but I was also monitoring this whale particularly. And then you can see these $25 calls were not sold anytime. Like you can see this was bought 21st, and people were buying. This was like $2.6 million spread, and then there was 380 million. There was another $25 on 4th, which was so $1 million trade. And all these calls were not being sold. I mean, the only sold ones were like these small orders, right? So I was bullish. I was still bullish on this one. And then these were finally sold the other day when the price was like up 55 or like 60% pre-market. So on the 8th of October. So I had two reasons for conviction. First, and then like the way you can track these things is like, it's very important to track open interest if you're swinging, because someone can sell these calls since the time you saw it. And the way I track is that I go to this watch list, and for me I've already added the CCXI, but you can do it too, and you save it here, and then you can just go to your watch lists every day at the market close and then before market close, and see if your swings have been sold or not. This is a great way to track that. And the other way would be to go to intraday section here and check the open interest here, and then you can see for $25 calls here, like at the end of day you can check if the open interest is still high or not. Like if the volume that day, let's say that before FDA approval on October 6th, you saw a huge volume here, that probably meant that either like the calls were sold on this open interest. So I was constantly monitoring that. There are a lot of details. So best is, in my opinion, like you can eliminate all the guesswork by just following the the actual flow on the live flow section, and that way you can see if the calls were being bought or sold, and that's a great way. So yeah, I mean guys, there was some phenomenal trades, made a lot of money on these two, and I told that like in a month, following my strategy, this strategy, I've doubled my portfolio, and that's phenomenal because like I do have a decent size, like I do take decent size trades now. And this unusual whales has really helped me, scale up my trades and like increase my position size. So yeah, anyway guys, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow my alerts, and I'm working on the Discord. So just and also one more thing, yeah, tonight 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a live stream where we'll do a lot of things. So like if you go here on my Twitter, you can see here all the details on pin post here. You can see what I'm gonna cover. We'll do live flow hunt, so this will be a good way for you guys to learn how I do it. And okay guys, so see you later, bye.